Hello, and welcome back to yet another session. Thank you very much for coming back. Today, we have yet another important session on career counseling and progression. In our last session, we discussed how do parents become barriers or bridges between what their kids can become and what they actually become. In our today's session, our focus shall be on teachers. Teachers as well as the students. What role teachers can play in making or breaking the career selection as well as the progression of the students. So, for teachers, as in our last session, I recommended the parents should not treat their children as non living things. Same is true for the teachers. The teachers should not treat the students as individuals who needs to be programmed or as individuals who are non-living things. So to make this discussion more understandable, I always have three questions. So I call them the existence question, the relationship question, and the emphasis question. In the presence of so many learning materials, books, and all other stuff, what does necessitate the existence of a teacher? Why should a teacher exist in the first place? If there is so much of knowledge, flurry of knowledge around us, why do we need teachers? Teachers need to understand this, that they have a different role from the books. The books are there to be read and learned by the students. And if the teachers are going to behave like books, then it is sheer duplication or wastage of the resource. Teachers are books in action, they are books in practice, they are role models. At any stage, it could be elementary, middle, high school, or the university, a student interacts with number of teachers. It's not only one teacher. For example, if you are a student at any stage, we come across so many teachers. And when we have so many role models living around, the students shall start resonating with the role models with whom their frequency matches. So, what we are giving as an institutes, the education institutes, the schools, the colleges, and the universities, they are giving students different options where there are multiple role models. What do these role models do? The teachers usually they do two things for the students. First of all, they validate some of the personality features, some of the foundational beliefs of the students. So students seek validation when they see someone who holds same beliefs, who holds same beliefs as themselves. They stand validated. The second thing is the teacher is a connection or a bridge between where the students are, between their current state and a future predicted state. The teacher knows where the student has to go, where they have to work, what kind of performance capabilities the students should acquire. So it is the validation as well as broadening of the horizon for the students that teacher has to do. So this is the first question, existence. Why should a teacher exist? The second question is the relationship question. What is the appropriate or the more appropriate description of the relationship between the teachers and the students? So we have two metaphors here to understand, is the relationship between teacher and student like the relationship between the customer and an enterprise, or the relationship is as we have a product and the product developer. the product maker or a product developer and the product relationship, or the client and the company relationship. Are students customers for teachers, or they are the products of the teacher? The product and the product developer relationship is more close as a description to the relationship between the teacher and the student. The teacher has to live with the students. It's not that the teachers behave like a travel agent that whose job is just to book a ticket and then let everything sail through. The teacher has to experience what the students are experiencing. Teachers know what ultimate performance capabilities the students shall need to become successful in their careers as they understand the market conditions, the market requirements. If the teachers do not understand the market conditions and the market requirements or the societal or global problems, how can they impart students the skills which are needed to thrive and survive in this complex environment? This is one of the dilemma of the teaching learning processes. If the teachers do not understand what skills and capabilities the students shall acquire to become successful, the students are unemployed. They shall remain unemployed because they are not solving any problem. So, what they have to do, the teachers need to understand what skills are required, and they have to impart the required skills and should try to minimize the gap between the acquired skills and the required skills. What skills are required to solve industrial problems, societal problems, global problems? The teachers need to understand them. Then the teachers need to understand the innovation level. They need to update themselves. If the teacher, who is an apprentice, who is going to transform the student between stage A and stage B, the state A where you receive the student and state B where the student is gone into the next stage, we need to understand that this is the stuff we have got and this is what we need to transform. This is the process that we are governing. We have to live with the product, with the students throughout this process. We have to experience that so that the students are able to acquire all the required skills to become successful. Now, this also answers the emphasis question. So, the emphasis is not on day to day learning. The emphasis must be on the development of the ultimate performance capabilities required to solve the problems. Our products should solve some problems. If the product can solve problems, there will be no gap between the acquired skills and the required skills. Once we match the acquired skills and the required skills, the issue of unemployment or unemployed graduates shall be automatically solved. So the concern should be on the lifelong learning of the students rather than day to day learning. And then the teachers need to have a vision and patience welded through the hard work, the sheer hard work that shall be the transformation that is required. For students, if you are somebody who is already into the university, you have already decided your career. It may not be your first choice, it may be your parents' choice, or through any means, the fate has pushed you here. But it is never too late. While you are going through these degree years, try and explore yourself as much as you can. What is your innate talent? What keeps you up all the night? What problems bothers you the most? And how those problems are being solved currently. While you are going through these degree years and you are trying to learn as much as possible, You have to keep that fire inside you alive. You may need that fire later. What you have to do, keep an eye on the patterns, keep an eye on the fractals, keep an eye on the disrupting technologies, and what skills are required to be aligned with the fractals or the patterns or the disrupting innovations. Imagine that you are going to build a typewriter today. Who is going to buy a typewriter? Not only the typewriter, see how many products the invention of computer has already taken in. They do not exist more. Any business, when there is a disrupting innovation, any business, any individual, any organization that is not aligned with the pattern or the fractals, they are simply written off. So it is not possible to imagine a newspaper that does not issue an e-paper. So if a business resists or has an inertia that cannot be overcome by the business itself, the disrupting innovation simply takes over. So when you are going through your degree years, you need to know yourself. You need to ask yourself a lot of questions. Are you someone who is going to fit into a machine, or you can make a machine of your own? What patterns and behaviors are on the rise? How can you ride the wave? Riding the wave shall make your job easier, but for that, timing is critical. You need to understand what skills are required. If you are just entering into the universities, you have 8 semesters for a 4 year degree program. Identify 8 skills and then plan or span those skills over your degree 4 years degree program. Learn those skills very well and keep yourself accountable that at the end of the semester you not only have to maintain your cumulative grade point average, the CGPAs, but you need to do an accountability of yourself that have you learn what you have decided to learn. The teachers can help the students to understand the future scenario. What skills will be required maybe in 10 years? In 10 to 20 years, there may not be a permanent job. Not only the permanent job, there may not be a permanent profession. Every 10 years, it is predicted that the individuals they have to relearn a lot of stuff to adopt to a new profession to stay sustainable. So what skills will be needed in future? This is the right time to develop those skills. Work on yourself, know yourself, and train yourself as someone who can behave as a better human, who can work with others. Working with others is the most critical skill that you will require either you go for a job or you build your own business. As an individual, you cannot achieve much. You need to learn how to work with others. Thank you so very much, teachers as well as the students. Stay tuned. Thank you.